Hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we are super happy to have you here, and we just ask that you bring an open mind and heart to your listening experience and to be prepared to explore vantage points that I'm convinced will help shift or solidify your current understanding of the ultimate nature of reality in a way that is extremely empowering. Speaking of exploring powerful perspectives, I would like to gift my book, The Golden Key, Modern Alchemy to Unlock Infinite Abundance to you at goldenkey.gift, where you can get the audio or ebook as my gift to you by using the code POSITIVEHEAD at checkout. All right, all you positive heads, welcome. Here we grow again. How you doing out there? Wherever you're receiving this broadcast. Doing well? Finding ways to ease the tension and ask the right questions, think the right questions to give you the right answers that help you to ease the tension? I hope so. If not, you're in luck, because that's what we're going to talk about today. We are going to continue the conversation, the topic that I've touched on quite a bit, a few times, I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, in the last few weeks. This idea of urgency and excitedness to get to an end goal or finish a task or get a bunch of work done or whatever. This idea that urgency can be rooted in your trauma, your own core wound. And it's funny because I decided I wanted to talk about this again today because I saw a post from someone that spoke to it. Must be bubbling up in the collective a lot. And then, of course, I'm talking to my ex-business partner, and the one you guys have heard about many times on the show over the years, the former friend, then villain in my story, as explained our story together in my book, The Golden Key, and then us coming back together as friends again in another chapter. Now we talk pretty regularly, and he was talking about how he just went through a process in business, dealing with the unwinding of a big deal that had closed and then kind of went backwards, and how it was a huge growth edge for him in dealing, coming into it like in a state of like fear or like there's I'm being threatened in some way. I've got to solve this problem now. And then realizing, like, taking the slow and easy, trusting the process and allowing this thing to take its natural course and then lead to a resolution, which after months it just led to for him. And he was saying, how that has been, it was just a great experience for him of letting things ravel in due course, as opposed to trying to like fix the problem now, today, go. And then him and I kind of laughed and said, yeah, that's definitely both of our core wounds in a certain sense, I guess you could say, our own trauma to things that our souls came to work on that are very much in line. And it made me laugh because I thought back to him and I, having been business partners for so many years on multiple companies, and just the amount of times him and I would like just push each other's buttons we would get into like, just like these heated exchanges with each other that were centering around this need to be right and this urgency to fix the problem and this sort of trauma response. And good news is, sounds like he's definitely done a lot of work in that regards, and I have too. Not to say there isn't more work to do, but this just must be a thing for a lot of us now, because I'm just seeing a lot on social media about it. And of course, if you're tuning into this broadcast, well, I guess that means you're a vibrational match for this broadcast, which means this is probably part of your path and trauma to heal as well. And so I'm going to start out by just reading a little bit here from, this is, I found this, it's Marina, I think it's Yanni Triver, if I'm seeing, it's written in cursive, so I think it's, Maria Yanni-Triver, who wrote this or posted this. I think it's her words too, but it's really powerful. And so Yeah, let me read it. She says, urgency is a trauma response. The need to heal fast. The need to get there already. Think about traumatic events. They require for us to act urgently without much thought. They activate that part of us that is more automatic rather than thoughtful, slow, and mindful. When you find yourself impatient and feeling like you need to figure everything out urgently, notice the energy of trauma response in your body. Don't judge yourself, just notice with compassion. Let this part of you know, I see you. I see how scared you are, how you feel that you're being threatened right now. Then validate everything this part shares with you. Invite this part of you to speak and share with you, and listen to it with love and compassion. This is one of the best ways to transform a trauma survival response into resilience. I really, really love that. Super powerful. It's like, it truly is. It's like a fight or flight kind of thing. And in my body, it's like instantly everything tenses up and I just get talking really fast and, just tense as I can be and an edge and edginess and agitation. And just becoming really, really aware of that particular reaction. It's a big one. I mean, for me, it may be the biggest thing for me to work on is getting into, that urgency, agitated, fix it now thing right away. And, being a serial entrepreneur my whole life, it's kind of, I think, obviously I was put on a path to deal with a lot of that sort of thing. I mean, any of you out there who are entrepreneurs, probably quite a few are, I'd imagine, being an entrepreneur is like, it's just about, literally putting out fires all day, every day. And having been an entrepreneur pretty much my whole life, worked for others a couple times here and there, but mostly an entrepreneur my whole life. Just like it's such the perfect setting and storm, if you will, conditions to constantly press those buttons. And just I think about all the years where I was, really so reactive instead of proactive, and learning to respond instead of react. And actually, I'm just starting to practice something that I've talked about for a long time. Qigong, and the instructor talks about a big part of learning how to move energy in this way, this physical sort of moving meditation activity, if you will, is when I was listening to his intro about it recently, he was saying, hey, this is about learning it's going to help you energetically to respond instead of react. And I think that's a really interesting thing to also consider as part of this. It's not just the mental side of it. What can you do physically? Qigong, meditation, exercise, things to sort of move that agitated energy. I mean, I started following, on social media. I don't do a lot of posting. I reshare things, and, I've never been a big person, for better or for worse, on social media and creating social media content. It's like doing podcasting is enough for me, I feel. But following and checking out other things is always fun. And I've started following a lot of wild animal sort of stuff, which I find fascinating. And some of it, nature can be pretty like hardcore, right? And my partner, Karen, had said, I might have mentioned this on the show, I can't remember. She's like, I think this is really good for you because, that sort of like aggressive part of yourself, that animal part of yourself, is sort of like an energetic outlet to kind of see and tap into some of that. So finding whatever it is, however you can sort of move some of that energy. I think, for me, I'm really excited about going down the path of exploring Qigong because, I do have so much energy, and it's sort of like, it kind of combines activity, athletics a little with meditation in a way, sort of like yoga does in a way, right? And that's another great one. So yeah, that's definitely a big one for me, and I'm imagine for you too, and probably those around you. And of course, I started thinking, well, who else can I have chime in on this topic? My go-to, Abraham, my fave. I decided to take a look and see if I could find a good clip, and I did. Where this one, basically, talks about urgency. If urgency always has us pointing in the wrong direction, and how it's there's so many good takeaways in this clip. So why don't we do this? I'm going to just play it. It's called, the title of it is Urgency Points You in the Wrong Direction. I found it on the Abraham Hicks Law of Attraction YouTube page. Take a listen.
My question this morning is not so much about the cognitive understanding of what you have just said, because I believe I'm at a place cognitively that I understand that. It's more in the application of it, and specifically, it's about the resistance piece. Because one of the things that I've started doing for myself, after having listened and attended seminars, is to ask myself questions that I know will have good feeling answers. And I can do that, and when I'm asking those questions right here and right here, it feels really good. The answers, just knowing the answers are coming, feels good. But then, as I've heard you say before, as you start moving towards that, you're going to find the resistance is going to show up within a certain amount of time. You're going to know where those blocks are, and you're going to start feeling it. And when I get into that, it's almost as if I have forgotten everything I've ever heard about the law of attraction. I can get myself wrapped up into the bad feelings, if you want, feeling like a victim, feeling all these horrible things, and it seems to take, for me at least, much longer than I want to let go of the resistance or to start going downstream or to let go of the oars, whatever words you want to use. My question
You want to use all of those words.
My question is, how can I more easily stay up to speed with my desires and not getting so wrapped up in the resistance of all of it?
Well, we've noticed, and you have too, you just said it very well, that the more specific you get, the more opportunity for you to feel the resistance there is, because with specifics comes faster moving stream. So if you manage to if you have this pattern of thought about something which has got you pointed in the opposite direction of what you want, and then you get really specific about it, which just makes the stream go faster and faster and faster, now you've got yourself up against the rocks and you're feeling not good. And so that's why we're wanting to simplify your approach to all of this by just saying to you, you have two choices right here, right now, to feel worse or better. And so as you begin applying your thoughts with that singular intention, we want you to hold in your mind the vision of paddling upstream. In other words, I'm in that place, the resistance is strong, and I'm where it's strong, and I don't want it to be strong. I really don't want it to be strong. I should be doing better at this than I am. I've been at this for a long time. I've been to several seminars. I've listened to hundreds of tapes. I should be getting this. All paddling upstream, and then you say, wait a minute, I don't have to work so hard at this. And just in a statement like that, you stop this. So your goal is to just try to find something that just causes you to stop paddling that way. In other words, it's almost like withdrawing your oars. And we think what's happened, and the reason that we've been speaking the way we have this morning, is because you're like so many people. You think, well, here I am here, and I should be over here. So not only am I not where I want to be, but I need to go way over here. So it just feels like so much to do, and that's why you're working so hard at it. Where if you could just stop and realize, I don't have to get way over there. San Diego's still 400 miles away. I just have to get pointed in the direction of San Diego. And I don't even have to turn this around. I just have to stop going that way, and the current will turn me around. And when you get that, when you get that in your mind, all I have to do is stop the struggle against. And this is really the message that we're wanting you to understand about the art of allowing. That stream is flowing powerfully. And everything that you've ever lived that didn't feel good was your misguided, you never do it on purpose, effort at pushing against something. And now you understand that cognitively, as you say, it will be easier and easier for you to just stop doing that. You may have heard us say, if you just stop doing that thing you're doing, then what you want would come about. And that thing you're doing is justifying, explaining, beating the drum. Every subject is two subjects, and on one end of it is what you want, and on the other end of it is what you don't want. And sometimes when you think you're talking about how much you want something, what you're really doing is talking about how bad you feel in not getting it. And so what you want to do is not worry so much about the subject at hand and be aware of the feeling in your belly. And when you don't feel good, do everything in your power to make the knot go away. Do everything in your power to just release the tension. The other night, Esther had laid down. She wanted to sleep. And as she was laying in her bed, she had her hands sort of tucked under her legs. And then she turned over on her side and put her hands between her legs in a sort of fetal position. And then she crossed her arms tight across her chest. And she was just sort of all balled up in a knot in her effort at controlling her life, so to speak. And as she laid there for a while, finally she heard us say, "Let go, let go." And it was not an easy thing for her to unclench her fists and turn her palms upward. She kept wanting to tuck them under somewhere. It was as if the planet was flying too fast and she might fly off. It took some conversation with herself to begin breathing deeply and just let go. Just let go. Just let go. And this is the thing. We so want to convince you, all of you, that what you want is there and that you're moving toward it. And if you'll just let go, you'll go.
So is it in the asking of the questions that have the good feeling answers that I'm getting myself caught up? I mean,
maybe, but usually not, unless you're just getting really, really specific. We think you're trying too hard at this. We think that you are trying to do the deliberate creative process rather than the art of allowing process. We think that we have not yet fully convinced you that the you that is in the process of becoming has in large part become. And that as you chill and follow the stream, follow the feeling that feels best, that you cannot help but get going in the direction of it, you see. You are source energy. And so when you love yourself, oh, you're flowing. When you love somebody else, oh, you're flowing. But when you see wrongdoing in yourself or others, you're paddling upstream. And there's no way you can right that. In other words, you can't be right enough to make that feel good. If someone has wronged you, they've lied to you, they've cheated you, they've misled you, they've told you things that they knew weren't true, and you went along with it, and then you find out later and you feel all balled up about it, you feel deceived, you feel disvalued, you feel taken advantage of, you feel victimized. Even though anybody that's watching, if they knew the facts, would agree with you, still in all of that, you're pointed upstream. And you cannot win under those conditions. So finally you have to come around to the idea that you'd rather feel good than be right. And when you withdraw from the thoughts that don't feel good, sometimes you can just say, well, that didn't feel good. What else can I think about? Well, that didn't feel good. What else can I think about? Well, that didn't feel good. What else can I think about? And as you do that again and again, so that you turn and turn and turn on subject after subject, before you know it, you're just flowing along so well. We think that what happens to so many of you, and it's what was going on with Esther in her tension that we were describing, is so many of you have this idea, and it's erroneous, it's not fact-based, it isn't accurate, it has nothing to do with the knowledge that you had when you came forth, and it defies all of the laws of the universe, but many of you hold to it. And that is that I've got to control the conditions of my life somehow in order to be a deliberate creator. And what we're wanting you to understand is that you have no business whatsoever attempting to control even one condition of your life. What you're wanting to control is your position in the stream. The stream will take care of the conditions.
So then if I use that internal questioning process that I know will feel good when I'm not feeling so good, is that then creating additional resistance to where I am? I'm saying I'm not feeling good here, so I'm asking a question to make myself feel better.
Well, for example, let's say that you're really in a knot and you ask the question, am I ever going to feel better? And the answer is, of course. Or you ask the question, am I valued by source energy? And you feel better because, of course, the answer is yes. You say, am I going to get what I want today? That might not feel so good because So this process of turning in the stream may very well be about asking questions to which you know the positive, good feeling answer. And so the key to turning in the stream is asking the questions that you know will turn you. But what we want you to hear from us is, if you'll let your intent be to turn in the stream, we think you'll ask different questions than if your intent is to turn your boat and get all the way to what you want. And what happens to so many of you is that you are so much wanting that you are so miserable over here without it, that you feel urgent about getting over there. And we say that urgency's always got you pointed in the wrong direction. Hey, here's a good example. Have you ever been in very slow-moving traffic? Jerry and Esther came through California, and so there was some slow-moving traffic in a lot of parts of the state. Have you ever been in slow-moving traffic? Have you ever been in slow-moving traffic that was so slow-moving it wasn't moving at all? And then it starts to move just a little bit. Can't you feel that feeling of relief? Now, you're used to going 70 miles an hour. And you're not going 70 miles an hour. You're only going 20 miles an hour. But it feels so much better than not moving because there's hope now. And that's the thing that we're wanting you to get the sense of. Of course, the more you turn, the more you deliberately let go of the oars so that you're not paddling against the current, then the faster and faster and faster your current will begin to move on subject after subject, until before you know it, you'll be feeling so much exhilaration that it won't even occur to you that you have to move, you have to pose questions to yourself that get you turned around, because you're already turned around. Now you're just romping and going with the stream. But anytime that you feel that you need to ask that question, we want you to just stop and say to yourself, what can I do to just cease doing what I'm doing that's got me pointed that way? And we'll tell you something easy to remember. What you're always doing is defending, justifying, or rationalizing. That's what you're always doing when you're pointing upstream. Jerry and Esther have this ritual where they hook the car up behind the coach before they leave. It's a very long contraption once they get it all hooked together. And Esther likes to get all nice and straight before they hook it up so that they can just pull straight ahead and everything in the hitch will lock in just the way it is supposed to. And Jerry likes to just hook it on any old way and figure it out later. And Esther worries because she's behind the driver's seat in the monster bus, and as she's there, sometimes she is concerned that she can make the turn and miss that tree without dragging the car over the picnic table. In other words, there's a lot to consider. And Jerry's out there on the ground, and he has a different perspective, and of course both of them think that their perspective is the most accurate, valid perspective. And so Esther teases Jerry all the time, let's do it the easy way, and Jerry likes to do it the adventurous way, which sometimes he thinks is the easier way, but Esther doesn't think it's so easy. And so sometimes while Esther's getting ready or readying the coach inside, Jerry will be outside hooking the car on while Esther's not looking. And then he will announce to her on the walkie-talkie, I've already hooked the car on, so I'll just guide you out of here. And Esther will look out and she'll see a big tree right there, and she'll think, I hope I can turn. And then she'll think, I hope I can't. I hope we have to take that car off. And we say, how is it that you get in competition for rightness? In other words, and it's something about needing to control conditions. It's something about measuring yourself against all other humans. It's something about wanting to be valedictorian. It's something about wanting to get all of the marks on the chart. It's something about being measured about others and only one can be in first place. It's something about that. But what we want you to understand is that the stream is there for everyone. And there is no possibility that all of you will not get everything that you are wanting. And so when Esther came to the abrupt realization, it startled her so much she laughed till she thought she would wet her pants as she sat there in the seat. I would rather be right than feel good. And in my rightness, I'm pointed upstream. And you do that very much, and things don't go very well for you, you see.
Before we continue on with today's episode, I'd like to take a quick moment to tell you about our sponsor, Athletic Greens. I recently went to a naturopathic doctor who did some testing and determined I was having issues with gut health. So when I had the opportunity to start taking Athletic Greens, I jumped at the chance. With one scoop of AG1, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins and minerals, superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens. It not only helps with your gut health, it helps your nervous and immune systems, energy levels, and more. And since it contains super high quality ingredients in powder form, it has a very high absorption rate, whereas many pills don't. With just 1 scoop in a cup of water, you can arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition for less than $3 a day. And to make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give Positive Head listeners a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D, which many people are quite low in, as well as 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/positivehead. Again, head over to athleticgreens.com/positivehead to take ownership over your health today. With more specifics, okay, this is cool to really understand. The more specific you get, the faster the stream moves, right? The stream of desires and manifestation, if you will. And therefore, there's more opportunity to go up against the rocks, she said. And so it's kind of like, oh, I want to breathe today. That's not very specific. That's very broad, right? Or I want today to be, let's just go with that one. I want to be able to breathe. That's very, very broad. You can feel good about that and you can accomplish it. I want to, achieve all 30 things on my to-do list, each of which takes probably at least an hour. Hold on. That means I need to, have 30 hours in a day. Oh my gosh, I can't do it. I'm feeling up against the rocks. I'm feeling stressed, right? That's much more specific and harder to attain in a certain sense. So learning to get more general, she talks a lot about, and just getting in that general state of well-being and realizing, like she said, you have 2 choices right now. You can feel worse or better. And it has so much to do with the questions that you're posing in your head. What questions are you setting? How much are you setting yourself up mentally with the right questions? She talked about that in this. And have you ever thought of that? Are you setting yourself up to win for success? Are you asking the wrong questions? And remembering that, and anytime you can say, wait, I don't have to work so hard at this. I can just withdraw my oars. Just stop paddling in the wrong direction. You just have to get pointed, and just stopping paddling will start to turn your boat around to get you in the right direction. You don't have to make it all the way to all 30 things on your checklist. You don't have to make it all the way to San Diego. Just starting down the path, you win, right? Stop the struggle against and move into this art of allowing, as she talks about. I love how she says every subject is really 2 subjects. One end, what you want, the other end, what you don't want. Which one are you giving your attention to? It's back to this idea of being for something and against nothing. Do everything. Your whole job is to ease the tension. Do everything in your power to ease the tension, to chill out, to let it go. And, it's so easy when we get into the state. This is another big one for me, wanting to be right, and she's like, this has so much to do with like ego related stuff. Your competition for rightness. When you see wrongdoing, you're paddling upstream. You're losing. You need to decide you'd rather feel good than be right. I love how she said, we think I've got to control the circumstances and conditions in order to be a deliberate creator. And all you really want to do is control your position in the stream, and the stream will take care of conditions. You don't have to worry about any conditions to be a deliberate creator. It's like we're getting too granular with it. It's such a profound realization, right? You don't have to control conditions to be a deliberate creator. You want to control your position in the stream. Think of the stream as your higher self. It can take care of the conditions. Ask the questions that are going to put you in this right spot in the stream, right? Urgency always has you pointing in the wrong direction. When you're defending, when you're justifying, when you're rationalizing, you're in that agitated state, you're losing. And you don't have to worry about being right. There's room for everyone to get there in their own way, through their own realizations, right? Allow them to see it differently. Do you want to be at peace or do you want to be right? And we know being at peace is actually going to take you to the ultimate rightness, being at peace and actually getting to the places that you want to go much more gracefully, right? Manifesting the things you with ease and grace. That's it. Not this urgent, agitated monster that we all, the beast we all need to tame, right? So speaking of taming the beast, I have a song for you by Judah and the Lion, taming that inner lion in myself. And we are coming up on Leo season after all. As a fellow Leo, for those of you out there, you know, hope you enjoy. All of you, this song is called Spirit. It's a great one. Till next time, journey well. Also, before we cue up today's song, as a quick reminder, don't forget to download the Golden Key audio or ebook as my free gift to you at goldenkey.gift using the Golden Key code POSITIVEHEAD. And please, if you enjoy my gift, leave a positive review on Amazon so others can unlock their lives with the help of the Golden Key as well.
You started out there with fire down in your bones. No walls to tear down, no chains that could keep you close. Then it went wrong. Now you're alone. Stories without a few letdowns are boring when told. Perfection and poems are a lie when it all unfolds. 'Cause when it goes wrong, then comes a song. We got spirit and I know you feel it. There's no give up, give up, give up, give up in us. We got spirit and I know you hear it. There's no give up, give up, give up, give up in us. Your path was running easy when the feeling was strong. Who do you choose to be when that feeling is gone? 'Cause when you're alone, or you sing along. We got spirit and I know you feel it. There's no give up, give up, give up, give up in us. We got spirit and I know you hear it. There's no give up, give up, give up, give up in us. We got spirit and I know you feel it. There's no give up, give up, give up, give up in us. We got spirit and I know you hear it. There's no give up,